Today is May 26th, 2024. What is God telling you today? If it is your birthday, know that God has a special word for you today. Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound. The story behind the hymn, Amazing Grace. Written in 1772, the words for the beloved song were born from the heart, mind, and rough experiences of the Englishman John Newton. Knowing the story of John Newton's life as a slave trader will help you understand the depth of his words and his gratefulness for God's truly amazing grace. Newton lived through a rather unfortunate and troubled childhood. His mother passed away when he was just 6 and spent years fighting against authority and even tried to desert the Royal Navy in his 20s. Later, abandoned by his crew in West Africa, he was forced to be a servant to a slave trader but was eventually rescued. On his return voyage to England, a violent storm hit and almost sank the ship, prompting Newton to begin his spiritual journey as he cried out to God to save them from the storm. Upon his return, Newton became a slave shipmaster. Bringing slaves from Africa to England, he admitted to sometimes treating the slaves abhorrently. In 1754, after becoming violently ill on a sea voyage, Newton abandoned his life as a slave trader and seafaring altogether to wholeheartedly devote his life to God's service. He was ordained as an Anglican priest in 1764 and became a popular preacher and hymn writer, penning some 280 hymns, among them the great Amazing Grace. In later years, Newton fought against the parliamentary campaign to abolish the African slave trade. He described the horrors of the slave trade in a tract he wrote supporting the campaign and lived to see the British passage of the Slave Trade Act in 1807. And now, we see how lyrics like, Amazing Grace, how sweet the sound, that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now I'm found, was blind, but now I see, and through many dangers, toils, and snares, I have already come. 'Tis grace hath brought me safe thus far, and grace will lead me home. Carry a much deeper meaning than a sinner's mere gratitude. Lyrics and music of Amazing Grace. Ephesians 2, verse 8. For by grace you have been saved through faith, and that not of yourselves. It is the gift of God. God bless you.
Thank you for watching. I hope you have enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to subscribe to this channel. See you in the next video.